Hello, my name is Kirioth, and this is the first in what will be a long line of community spotlight videos, whereby we take a look at the stuff that you send me. Finished armies, single models, works in progress, conversions, paint jobs, whatever it is that you're proud of and you want people to see, you send to me and I will put them in these community spotlight videos. And the whole point of this is essentially to just provide some inspiration, some motivation to show what we're working on, so that we can kind of avoid that whole thing of burnout, because quite often looking at what other people are up to will give you that kick you need, that drive you need to either finish a project, start a project, or just finally get around to painting that one thing that you know you should have painted about a year ago but just couldn't be bothered. So that's what this is all about. It's a mix of showing off what you guys are doing and what you guys are capable of doing, and also providing a little bit of inspiration and motivation to everyone else involved in the hobby as well. So if you want to submit anything for this, any images that you have, any pictures that you want to share of models that you are working on, it doesn't have to be 40k by the way. Age of Sigmar is fine, War Machines is fine, War Machines, War Hordes, that one. Basically hobby stuff in general, like miniatures, painting, conversion, that kind of thing. Send them to kiriothcommunity@gmail.com. There'll be a link in the description with the email address so that you can find it a bit more easily. And yeah, we are going to take a look at some models right now. So I will say that the way we're going to start this off is I'm going to do a few episodes in chronological order. So the stuff that you guys have sent, I'll start building through, start working through the stuff that you've sent me. I've got about 350 emails at this point. And what we'll do after a few episodes is I'll start changing things up so that if there's anything in particular you want to see, so if you want to see an episode centered around just chaos stuff, if you want to see conversions or kit bashes in particular, if you want to see a certain army, if you want to see a certain style of painting, anything like that, we will start opening up and start doing it so that if you want motivation for a particular thing, a particular part of a project, there will be an episode where you can go and look at what other people have been working on, doing exactly the kind of thing that you are looking for. For now though, first couple of episodes, I will go through stuff as people have sent it to me. If you send me anything, don't worry, it will end up in a video at some point. As I say, I've got a load of submissions, which is awesome. I do want more, I always want more. It might take a little while to get to you, but your stuff will be in a video, I promise you. It will happen. There's just a lot of stuff to go through. So yeah, keep sending them, keep an eye out, and I hope you enjoy the first ever Community Spotlight video. What we're going to do is start out with some pictures that were sent by James. So we have a very nice Lysander, and I really like this, especially because the face is very nicely done. Yeah, the face especially, I'm no good at faces. My reason for all of my Marines being helmeted is partially because I don't really like the unhelmeted look for my stuff personally. It's also largely because skin is a mystery to me and always has been, and I've never been very good at it. So whenever I see a well-painted face, a little part of me gets a little bit jealous. It looks really good. As I say, the yellow on the armor is really nice and solid and consistent. Also, the lettering on the shield is really well done as well. There's also the man himself, obviously, Sigmar. Again, some really nice consistent yellow. Yellow's a really difficult colour to get right. I've never been good at yellow. I can make stuff look filthy and dirty, but a proper clean yellow is a real pain to achieve. So I really like that. Some really nice shading and detail on there as well. James also sent some really nice Stormcast Eternals with a colour scheme that I don't think I've seen before. I'm not sure I've actually seen that. The shading on the blue, on the pauldrons and on the shields is really nice. I kind of like the flat grey combined with the silver on the weapons. It's a nice scheme. It's effective, but it's not too blingy. A problem that I have with quite a bit of Stormcast Eternal stuff is that they can look very overbearing, they can look very, very shiny, which I've never been a huge fan of. I mean, even Custodes to me look a little bit too shiny, but that's a really nice scheme. It shows off a lot of the detail, but it's a lot more palatable for me personally. I really like it. There's also some excellent Necromunda work going on as well. There's an Escher and Goliath gang. The combination of the reds and the greens on the Eschers there is really nice. I kind of like the less rainbowy approach. I like really bright Eschers, but every now and again it's nice to see a little bit of a change, and kind of going with a consistent colour of green for this gang works really well. I like it. There's also the Goliaths, which I always love these models. they're so over the top and like roid ragey, but they're really cool. There's some nice rust effects and stuff going on there, some nice wear and tear on the models. Yeah, that's a nice gang. I like that. Really nicely done. Also, hazard stripes are a pain. It's got some really good hazard stripes going on. Yeah, nice. Thank you very much for sending those in, James. Next up, we have a few really nice conversions from L. Bennett. So the first is the Des Yarn pattern Bulgar Strike Fighter Kit Bash, which looks really good. I mean, there's apparently a small 3D printed section down the middle due to its shape, and a lot of Tau kits. I would not have been able to guess what went into this. I also wouldn't have guessed that there was just a 3D section down the centre, because it's very consistent. It's very well done, this. It's a really good conversion, like a really good, almost, I mean, I'd almost argue that it's close to a, I wouldn't say scratch, but I don't even know what to describe it as. It's like a completely new vehicle, but it's really nicely done. I was going to say a scratch build, but there are like bits of Tau kit in there. It's just so different to the Tau flyers that are actually available, and yet it looks fully compatible with them. It's a really nicely done project. It looks really, really good. That's something that I would not be surprised if you could just buy. And to be honest, if you can achieve that when you're making a vehicle like this, then you've pretty much nailed it. Yeah, I really like the overall shape and silhouette of that. It's very Tau, but it's also very unique. It's pretty damn good. There's also some very nice Blood Angels conversions here as well. I really like the use of like Stormcast Eternal parts for things like Blood Angels, because they're very over the top and ostentatious, but it fits the overall aesthetic of the Blood Angels quite well, to be honest, because they're very over the top and ostentatious. They already have the like ridiculous big wing packs, so it doesn't look out of place, whereas I think in some armies it can do, but it tends to work really well for Blood Angels in particular. I think as well with the helms on these, there's been some filing down. I think some of those heads have hair and stuff, which they don't on these, which make them, I think, improve them a lot, like from how they are standard. Also the way they're painted as well. The respirators being black and just the whole head being white, I think works quite a bit better. Makes them look more organic and less cartoony. It's a good use of those helmets. We also have a bit more Tau action from Zach Orcs, and to be honest, I really, really like this. This like fills me with nostalgia from when the broadsides had the railgun on the shoulders as opposed to on the arms. When these kits first came out, they didn't have like both arms holding the railgun. They had two railguns positioned on the shoulders, and people just converted them to be the other way around. I actually kind of like now, I didn't at the time, but I kind of like the guns being on the shoulders quite a bit, and going for like a mini Storm Surge look, which is what they've done. I actually really like it. It looks really cool. I think personally I'd go for more of a kind of action pose, given the top heavy nature of it, but the actual weapons have been put on really, really well. It looks like it was supposed to be that way, which is kind of the holy grail of doing a decent conversion, actually making it look natural, which this really does. The paint job is really nice as well. That's a properly executed Tau paint job. I like it. Okay, for something a little bit different, we also have some stuff from Matthew, who has done some really nice freehand shoulder pads that are really well done, really nicely painted, nice and clean, very easily distinguishable, and some just generally nice looking Deathwatch action as well. I really like the freehand on these, though. They've been done really, really well. They're nice and clear. Freehand is one of those things where I'm in constant awe of people who can do this, because I have absolutely no artistic talent whatsoever. So yeah, those look really, really nicely done. Okay, next up we've got some Marines from William, and this is a chapter called the Starhawks Custom Chapter. You are a brave person going for the quartered look, and I am not going to lie, I am somewhat jealous of the fact that you are pulling it off so cleanly. Doing quartered paint jobs for any faction it's not easy, and also going for that kind of orange colour for like half the model, and getting that consistent and clean, and actually managing to pull off the clean lines between the black and the orange, that's really nicely done. That is that's some nicely painted stuff there. That requires a level of patience and consistency that, I'll be honest, I lack. So that's really nice. That's really well done. Okay, we have, this is one of my favourite things that I think I've ever been sent, just in general, from Inquisitor Lord Malcador Steinbeck, Bilius Odius, Ministerium Priest, Inquisitory Acolyte, Imperial Birdwatcher. Absolutely love it. So this is a flagellant body and staff with some guard bits and an eagle from a Deathwatch kit. Really nicely done. Really nicely done. I like this a lot. Excellent sense of humour, fantastic use of a bird. It looks like a completely natural model, something that you would just buy off the shelf. It's pretty damn good. I really like that. From another James, a different James this time, we have a Space Marine Chaplain, which there's some really nice detail work on this. The purity seals, especially, I really like those. They've been done really well. The armour is nicely kind of beaten up. There's some, I'm assuming some nice dry brushing going on there with a bit of lead belcher probably, to break up the black and not make it quite as like monotone. It's worked really, really well, and the eyes and the helmet are really nicely done too. In fact, I will say that the teeth on the skull helm, sometimes it's easy to lose a bit of definition and detail on that stuff, but it's been kept really nicely there. Yeah, some good work on there. There is also a very clean Wraith Knight. Really clean. I mean, awe of people who can pull off like a proper clean paint job like that. I'm good at grime and rust personally, but I'm not so good at properly kind of smooth colour, which is, mostly down because I never try. I just constantly go for grime and rust because I like it so much. But there's some really nice, consistent colour going on that Wraith Knight. I like the pose as well. The pose is really nicely done. And to round off the first episode of Community Spotlight, we have some very nice Adeptus Mechanicus from Michael, and the paint job on these is clean as anything. I really, really like these. They're really nicely done. The armatures have got some lovely solid consistent red paintwork on them. There's some nice edge highlighting going on as well. The difference in the carapaces is really nice, helps differentiate them, and it kind of adds an extra something to them, I think. When you have all the knights looking exactly the same, there's a nice kind of uniform look to it, but I quite like it when there's little differences, like with the sides of the carapace being blacked out and the shoulder pads being, I think probably by the look of it, white and black, maybe white and red. I'm probably thinking white and black on the left-hand one. It just breaks it up, just that little bit. It makes them a bit more visually distinctive from each other, which I think can be kind of important when you have stuff that has the same loadout. When it's larger models, it can be quite nice to do a bit of distinguishing work on one or the other. So I really like that, and the Tech Priest is really nicely done as well. There's some kind of subtle but nice kind of light work going on. When you look at the kind of orb and the canister on the back, and I think that's a plasma weapon of some kind. I can't remember what that Tech Priest gets off the top of my head, but yeah, there's some really nice work there. The red on all of those models is really, really good. Really nicely done. Okay, that is the first Community Spotlight. As I say, there will be many more of these. The next one I will hopefully put out on Thursday, which is when these will air. I apologise for the delay in getting this one out. As you may have seen from either Twitter or the community page on the channel, I had some health issues last week, which unfortunately still aren't actually resolved, but it just made everything a lot more difficult than it needed to be. But we will do these every Thursday, so this one, I know it's on a Monday, the second one will be on a Thursday, and then we'll do every Thursday from that point on, all being well. So thank you for all of the submissions that you've made. If you want to submit a model, an army, whatever you would like, then email kiriothcommunity@gmail.com. There'll be a link in the description so that you can email nice and easily. If you can provide verification, that would be very, very helpful. Save me a little bit of work. And again, thank you for everything that you guys have sent so far. As I say, it will all end up in a video at some point. We will show all of this stuff off, and I hope you get a little bit of inspiration, a little bit of motivation from the hard work of the stuff that we've seen today. So thank you very much for watching. Feel free to click all the things, subscribe, all of that stuff. And I will see you for the next video, and the next Community Spotlight, as I say, will be on Thursday. Thank you very much for watching. Thank you everyone who had models that appeared in this video, and I look forward to seeing more of what you guys can do in the future. Toodaloo.